Hi, my name is Bob Mayers. I'm a writer and a historian. The thing that interests me about Highlands is not what interests most people. I am most interested in the Revolutionary War period and what happened here. In 1778 was the Battle of Monmouth, and Washington, the entire Continental Army, met and fought the entire British Army over here in Freehold. It was one of the biggest battles of the war and ended up as a draw. Neither side was really the victor. And during the night, the British pulled out their troops, and they wanted to get them over to New York City. But their troops included 16,000 people, including soldiers, camp followers, cannon, horses, wagons, and a wagon train that was 1.5 miles long. And they started out from Freehold heading to the Highlands, and you can trace their route today. It looks very much the same as it did in those days. And when you hit Route 35, you pick up King's Highway, which takes you into the village of Navesink. And I read an account written by a British officer. He describes the village of Navesink, and if you go there today, it's the same, looks exactly the same. They camp in various places. It takes them a couple of days to get over here. General Henry Clinton and General Howe send ahead their chief engineer to survey what the place looks like. And he says, well, you get to a place called Middletown and the ground rises. If Washington comes after us, we got to take up our position there and fight him from those hills, the rise of the hills at Middletown. So his chief engineer comes over here and says, Sandy Hook is an island. It's not attached to the mainland. We have to build a pontoon bridge. Now, the part that goes by bars now was not a big river channel. It was a swamp. And the British engineers built a small pontoon bridge to get over that swamp to get to Sandy Hook. So all 16,000 people trooped through our town. They say they left from Gravelly Point, but I'm not sure it's the Gravelly Point street today, or Gravelly Point covered maybe hundreds of yards along the shoreline there, but that's where they left, and they all got over. And now, historians decry the fact that Washington did not pursue them. If he had gotten over here, he could have mounted his cannons on the heights of the Navesink, trained them down on Sandy Hook, the entrance at Sandy Hook, not all the way down because that's 7 miles long. The guns didn't have that range, but he could have caught the British Army on Sandy Hook. The ships weren't there yet, and they were stranded on this narrow strip of land, but Washington did not do it. He went into New Brunswick. Now, as the British troops are waiting for the ships out here, they're all stationed camping on Sandy Hook, and they hear gunfire, and they say, my God, the Americans are coming after us. Well, they weren't. They were firing guns to celebrate the 4th of July in New Brunswick, and the breeze carried the sound of the cannon all the way to Sandy Hook, and the British thought they were being pursued. Anyway, there were like probably 100 ships and sloops, and it took the British 4 or 5 days to board all their horses and cannon. Off they went to New York City, where they stayed for the rest of the war. So the day when the Highlands had the most visitors was in the end of June in 1778.